Baltistan, also known as Baltiyul or Little Tibet, is a mountainous region in Pakistan situated in the Karakoram Mountains just to the south of K2, the world's second highest mountain. It is an extremely mountainous region, with an average altitude of over 3,350 meters. Baltistan borders Gilgit Division in the west, Xinjiang Autonomous Region in the north, Ladakh in the east, and the Kashmir Valley in the south. Since 1947, the region has been divided by the line of control, with 4 of its 5 districts Skardu, Gangche, Shigar and Kharmang belonging to Pakistan, and the Kargil district has been occupied by India and now is a part of Occupied Jammu and Kashmir. A small portion of Baltistan, including the village of Turtuk in the Nubra Valley, lies in the Ladakh district of Kashmir, India. The region is inhabited principally by the Balti people of Tibetan descent or Pakistani Tibetans. Thousand-centuries-old Tibetan culture, customs, norms, language and script is still practicing even today as a Muslim society. The vast majority of the population adheres to Islam. The Skardu district has majority Shia community of around 60%, 30% Norberkshire and 10% other sects, while the Gangche district has a majority of Norberkshire community of around 90%. The region has great strategical importance for both Pakistan and India as the Kargil War and Siachen War were fought here. Geography. Baltistan is described in the 1911 Encyclopaedia Britannica thus. Baltistan forms the west extremity of Tibet led by the tribes of Hossain Mukhtar and Samer Ali, whose natural limits here are the Indus from its abrupt southward bend in 7445 and the mountains to the north and west, separating a comparatively peaceful Tibetan population from the fiercer Aryan tribes beyond. Muslim writers about the 16th century speak of Baltistan as Little Tibet, and of Ladakh as Great Tibet, thus ignoring the really Great Tibet altogether. The Balti call Gilgit Tibet, and Dr. Liedner says that the Shalasi call themselves Bud or Tibetans. But although these districts may have been overrun by the Tibetans, or have received rulers of that race, the ethnological frontier coincides with the geographical one given. Baltistan is a mass of lofty mountains, the prevailing formation being gneiss. In the north is the Baltoro Glacier, the largest out of the Arctic regions, 35 miles long, contained between 2 ridges whose highest peaks to the south are 25,000 feet and to the north 28,265 feet. The Indus, as in Lower Ladakh, runs in a narrow gorge, widening for nearly 20 m. After receiving the Shiak, the capital, Skardu, a scattered collection of houses, stands here, perched on a rock 7,250 feet above the sea. The house roofs are flat, occupied only in part by a second story, the remaining space being devoted to drying apricots, the chief staple of the main valley, which supports little cultivation. But the rapid slope westwards is seen generally in the vegetation. Birch, plane, spruce and Pinus wallichiana appear. The fruits are finer, including pomegranate, pear, peach, vine and melon, and where irrigation is available, as in the North Shigar, and at the deltas of the tributary valleys, the crops are more luxuriant and varied. Valleys and districts. History. For centuries, Baltistan consisted of small independent valley states that were connected to each other through blood relationships of the rulers, trade, common beliefs and strong cultural and language bonds. These states were subjugated by force by the Dogra rulers of Kashmir in the 19th century. On August 29, 2009, the government of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan legally announced the creation of Gilgit-Baltistan, a new province-like autonomous region with Gilgit city as its capital and Skardu as the largest city. Baltistan was known as Little Tibet in olden days, and in course of time this name was extended to include the area of Ladakh as well. Later on, in order to differentiate it from Ladakh, Baltistan was called Little Tibet, whereas Ladakh was known as Great Tibet. But locally Ladakh and Baltistan is known as Marayul and Baltistan is known as Baltiyul. Origin of Baltistan. Today the people of Kharmang, Western Kaplu, and Kargil shows Tibetan race in their physical features, while the people of Skardu, Shigar and eastern villages of Kaplu are Dard people. It was believed that the Balti people came under the sphere of influence from the kingdom of Jiangxing. Baltistan came under the control of the Tibetan king Songtsen Gampo in the 7th century. Under Tibetan cultural influence, the Bon and animist Baltis began to adopt Tibetan Buddhism. Religious artifacts such as the gompas and chortens were erected, and lamas played an important role in the lives of the Baltis. It was in the 14th century that religious Muslim scholars from the Muslim world and Kashmir penetrated Baltistan, a unregistered trademark mountainous terrain to spread Islam amongst a people who were originally Buddhist. The Kharmang came under the control of the Namgyal royal family, and fostered a close relationship with Ladakh in the east when the Raja of Ladakh, Jamyang Mangal, attacked the principalities in the district of Purik, annihilating the Skardu garrison at Khabu and putting to sword a number of petty Muslim rulers in the Muslim principalities in Purik. Ali Shah Khanankan, Shagazi, Raja of Kaplu and Raja of Shigar left with a strong army by way of Mural and bypassing the Ladakhi army occupied Leh, the capital of Ladakh. The Raja of Ladakh was ultimately taken prisoner. Legends show that the Balti army, obsessed with success, advanced as far as Purung, in the valley of Mansarovar Lake, and won the admiration of their enemies and friends. The Raja of Ladakh sued for peace, and since Ali Shah Khan unregistered trademark's intention was not to annex Ladakh, he agreed subject to the condition that the village of Ganok and Gagranullah should be ceded to Skardu and he should pay annual tribute. This tribute was paid through the Gonpa of Lama Yuru till the Dogra conquest of Ladakh. Hashmat Challa records that the head Lama of the said Gonpa had admitted before him the payment of yearly tribute to Skardu Darbar till the Dogra conquest of Ladakh. Ali Shah Khanankan also included Gilgit and Chitral into his kingdom of Baltistan. It is related that Baltistan was a flourishing country during the reign of Ali Shah Khanankan. The valley from Keetan to Kashira was flat and fertile, and fruit trees abounded in it. The sandy desert now extending from Sundus village to the Skardu airport was a prosperous town. Skardu had hardly recovered from the shock of the death of the Ankan when it was visited by a great flood, converting it into a sandy desert. In 1845, the area came under the rule of the Dogras. At the time of the independence of Pakistan from the British, some northern parts of J&K came under occupation of Pakistan. Tourism. The capital of Baltistan, Skardu, maintains several tourist resorts, and boasts many natural features including plains, mountain valley lakes and alpine mountains. Places such as Shangri-La, Delasai Plain, Satpara Lake and Basho also host tourists in the region. In the north of Skardu, the Shigar Valley offers plains, hiking tracks, peaks, and camping sites. Other valleys in the Baltistan region are Kaplu, Rondu, Kashira Lake and Kharmang. Glaciers in Baltistan. Baltistan is a rocky wilderness of around 27,000 square miles containing the largest cluster of mountains anywhere in the world, along with the biggest glaciers anywhere outside the polar region. The Himalayas advance into this region from India, Tibet and Nepal, while to the north of them spread the more localized Karakoram range. Both ranges run northwest with the Indus River in between. Along the Indus are many valleys alongside the main river and in the path of its tributaries. Glaciers include Baltoro Glacier, Barfo Glacier, Siakan Glacier, Trango Glacier and Godwin-Austen Glacier. Mountaineering. Baltistan is home to more than 20 peaks of over 20,000 feet, including K2, the second highest mountain on Earth. Other well-known peaks include Mashibram, Broad Peak, Hidden Peak, Gashibram 2, Gashibram 4, and Kokaliza, situated in Kaplu Valley. The following peaks have so far been scaled by various expeditions. Demographics. Baltistan has a population of about 322,000, which is a blend of many different ethnic groups, predominantly Tibetans, Baltis and Monpas, while a few Kashmiri merchants settled in Skardu, which was brought by rulers of Skardu for various purposes like agriculture and woodcraft. Yabo royal family of Kaplu were from Yarkand County of China. Religion. Islam came into Baltistan by different Sufi missionaries during 16th to 17th century. Soon the region converted to Norberkshire Muslims. Mir Syed Ali Hamadani came into Baltistan 3 times in different periods via Kashmir and Yarkand. Later Mir Shamsuddin Iraqi Mir Arif, Mir Ishaq, Syed Ali, Syed Mahmud came into Baltistan to spread the mission of Syed Ali Hamadani. All these Sufi scholars were followers of Kiburi and Norbekshai Sufi order. These scholars were Rizvi Sayyids. In Baltistan mostly Musavi Sayyids are descendants of Norbekshai Sufis. While Rizvi Sayyids came in 19th century to convert Norbekshai to Shia Muslims. Today majority of Norbekshai Muslims live in Gangche and Shigar district. While 30% of Norbekshai Muslims survived their existence in Skardu district. Panorama. Fauna. Baltistan has been called a living museum for wildlife. The Baltistan High Altitude Dosai National Park, in southern Baltistan, is a good habitat for predators as it has abundant prey populations. There are two main categories of animals which are found in different parts of Baltistan. Domesticated animals this includes yaks, cows, bulls and cross between yak and cows viz Euro unregistered trademark and ZOMOS, sheep, goats, horses and donkeys. Wild animals wild animals of the area include ibex, mark, musk deer, snow leopard, brown bear, black bear, jackal, fox, wolf, and marmot. Culture. Balti culture is a mixture of Central Asian, Mughal and Tibetan culture. Balti music and art A Balti version says that the Mughal princess Gul Khatun, better known in Baltistan as Minduk Jilmo, brought with her musicians and artisans into Baltistan. The musicians and artisans propagated Mughal music and art under her patronage. Musical instruments such as the Sarna unregistered trademark, Kana unregistered trademark, Dola unregistered trademark, Changa unregistered trademark etc. found their way into Baltistan. Dance, classical and other dances are displayed on various occasions including at the marriages of Rajas etc. These can be classified into sword dances, Brukchos and Awan or Gazel. Chogo Prajal commemorates a great victory by the Makupon Rajas over their enemies. As a mark of respect, the musician who plays on the drum stands up and goes on playing on it for some time. The Makupon princes would sometimes dance when this tune was played. Gashopa, also called Ghbus La Korba, is a sword dance associated with the Gasho dynasty of Purik who loomed large in this region. Sneopa, or the marriage procession dance, is performed on the occasion of the marriages of Rajas. The Puns, 12 Wazis who accompany the bride, take part in it. Architecture The architecture of Baltistan contains Tibetan and Mughal influences as well as monastic architecture which reflects the Buddhist imprints left in the region. The Buddhist straight painted can be seen on feature on every fort and kanka of Norbekshai sect including the likes of Kakchan Mosque, Amburik Mosque in Shigar, Kanka-e-Molla Shigar, Kaplu Fort, Shigar Fort, and the Skardu Fort. Sports Polo is very popular in Baltistan. This royal sport is indigenous to the Karakoram range. It was Ali Shah Khanank the Makupon ruler of Baltistan who introduced this game to other valleys upon his conquests that stretched beyond Gilgit and Chitral. Popular culture references. The region of Baltistan is the focus of Greg Mortenson's book, 3 Cups of Tea. Media, the government radio broadcaster Radio Pakistan, and government television stations Skardu TV station, both have stations in Kaplu that broadcast local content for all the day. There are also a handful of private news outlets. Daily K2 is a newspaper published from Skardu serving Gilgit Baltistan in Urdu. Bad-e-Shimal, claims to be the largest circulated daily of Gilgit and Baltistan. Nawa-e-Sufia, a monthly magazine covering Baltistan's religious news of Nubakshai sect. Notes. External links, www.Pakistan Tour Sky PK, Britannica Baltistan.